Hi Carlos Pacheco, it's Mrs. Nault again. I'm here with your next episode of Where Does My Food Come From? So today I am taking you on a little special field trip again at my house, and hopefully you looked up your vocabulary word for last week, which was apiary, and you're going to see what one is in just a minute. So here we are. We are at the Nault apiary. And I'm going to show you that definition again in a minute. But this says, caution, no trespassers, honeybee yard. So yes, that's where we are. We are about to see my apiary, which is a collection of honeybees and beehives. And we're going to take a look at that. So here, you can see this is our apiary. And you can see some holes. We are in the process of planting some blueberries. Those are going to be great for the bees to feed on. They get their nectar from the flowers on the blueberries, and that makes really, really nice honey. So say hello to Mr. Nault. This is Mr. Nault, and he is in his bee gear. This is safety gear that we put on when we're going to be handling the beehives or be around the bees. So the apiary looks like this. It's a shed, and I'm going to come over here. I have it all printed out for you. I've labeled it apiary. Whoops. So here is our apiary. An apiary is a place in which a colony or colonies of bees are kept as a stand or shed for beehives, or a bee house containing a number of beehives. So in the apiary, you can see the back. Now the bees can't really get in this part. They're in those hives right there. That's what the hives look out like. You can see there's 4 of them. So we're pretty safe back here unless we take the top off. The hive is made of some different parts. Down here is what we call the brood box. And the brood is a number of young produced or hatched at one time, a family of offspring or young. So that's where the bees reproduce. They make more bees. And then up here, in this section up here, that's where they make their honey and they leave their honey. And we're going to be looking inside of that in a little bit. Mr. Nault is going to take that off for us, and we'll be looking to take the frames out and show you how we extract our honey. Now around here, you can see at the front of the apiary, you can see those little holes in the front, and that's where the bees come and go. So they can get into their hives from those little pipes. And they have wire over them so that other critters don't get in there, because if mice get in there, they can completely destroy the hives. Okay, so that's what we're going to show you today. I'm going to pause this video and we'll be right back, and we'll show you how we extract the honey. Be right back. Hi, it's Mrs. Nault again. We're here now on my deck, and I'm showing you some of the equipment that we use to extract the honey from the beehive. Now you'll see over here, Mr. Nault, in front of him is the box that we told you about that contains the frames that we that have the honey in them. So he's going to lift out some of these frames with this tool right here, and this is a frame lifter, and he's going to show you what it looks like. This is where your honey comes from. Now all of these little holes, this is all wax. This whole thing is made out of wax, and the bees make that, and then they fill it up with the honey, and they put more wax on top of it. So this is called the cappings, the wax cappings. And under there is so much honey you would not even believe it. He's going to turn it around. He's going to show you that it's on both sides, so you can see there's honey on both sides of this, and in the middle there's just a little sheet that goes in between that it makes it a little easier to for the bees to make their little what do you call those, hexagons? Mr. Nault, you're the math guy. Hexagons. They make their little hexagon chambers on the little plate. Now here's another one. You can see on both sides there's honey. So this entire box is all full of frames like that. And there is a lot of honey in there. So we're taking 3 out for now. And what we're going to do is we are going to uncap those frames and put them in this right here. This is called a honey spinner. And I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. All right. So we're taking them and putting them on this tray. We're going to uncap them. This right here, this big giant tool is called an uncapping knife. So we're going to use this to take the wax cappings off of the front of the honey, and then we're going to put them in right inside the honey spinner. So we're going to open up the honey spinner and you have that ready. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how we uncap the frames and put them in. So Mr. Nault, do you want to hold this so I can uncap those frames? So what we're doing is we're going to pick this up. I'm going to go right into this bucket. This is a special bucket, and it is very clean, and it has a special filter in it that is going to take the wax off of the honey, and we're going to collect the wax as well as the honey because we can make nice things with that. So I'm just going to go from the top, and we're just going to cut the wax cappings right off. And you can see all that beautiful honey underneath. And the wax cappings are just going to fall right into here, into our bucket. We'll strain the honey out of it and use the wax for something else. So we're just going to make sure we have all those cappings off. We have to take all that off so that the honey can get out when we put it in the spinner. Go down this side and try to use the frame as a guide.
Some of that honey looks kind of dark. It'll look better in a jar, but sometimes it's dark. It depends what kind of pollen your bees are collecting.
Yep, and sometimes you'll even see when you uncap it, half of it will be very dark and half of it will be a lighter color because it was different types of pollen that the bees ate at that time to produce the honey. So we're just going to take this now, and this is going to go. Mr. Nault, you can follow us.
Do the other side.
We'll do the other side after. And we're going to put this right in this little handy dandy slot in the honey spinner. And after we get the other 2 in, we're going to spin it out. So I'm going to do 2 more, just like that.
It's warm out here. That honey is coming out without even being spun.
I know. It's really, and notice we're doing this outside. Sometimes I do it inside if it's too cold, but it's much better to do it outside because this will get honey everywhere, and it's very, very sticky. So I'm going to put that one in there, and one more. That's good enough for now, just to show you guys. And now, oh, we didn't screw this down yet. That's okay. And now, so we've got all 3 frames in the honey spinner. We're going to put the top back on. And we're going to start to spin the frames. And this causes the honey to come right out. I need to make sure it's staying down. We didn't screw it down. Usually we do that. but this is going to make all the honey come out. It's called centrifugal force. There's another one for you to look up. I can see it coming out. Kind of hard to see on the video, but you can see it. So we're going to let it slow down a little and show you what it looks like as it's been coming out. You can slow that. You can stop that. There we go. So now we're going to show you one. It's still coming out, but you can see that there's less in there. Some of them are starting to not be so full, and you can see the actual shape of the little hexagons now. So we're going to keep spinning this. And then over here, what happens is the honey goes down to the bottom. Oh, my dogs are helping me. Hi, Chrissy. This over here, we have to close before it gets too full. This is called the honey gate. And this, as the honey comes down, it fills up the bottom. And then when we want to take the honey out, it comes right out of that little spout right there called the honey gate. But as it fills up, it will flow right out of there. So we need to close it up and make sure it's nice and tight, or else it'll leak. Then once we take the honey out of there, it's going to go through my other bucket over here, which also has a honey gate, and it's going to be filtered. The filtering takes out all the little pieces of wax that might have been in the honey when it got spun out, and all the wax will stay at the top in the filter, and all the nice clean honey will be in this bucket, and we'll use this honey gate to take the honey out and put it in jars. How's it going? It sounds like they're less heavy now, Mr. Nault. This honey spinner is actually new to us. We used to just take the honeycomb and crush it all up and put it through the filter, but that took so long. And this is much faster and much more efficient. And we can get most of our honey done probably all in one day. We can get it put it in jars. So let's see how they're doing here. How are they doing on that side? And they are pretty close to empty now.
Yep, just gotta trim.
There's a few areas that we need to trim up. So we're gonna have to do, and I'm not gonna show you this right now, but we're gonna have to uncap the other side, turn the frames around, and spin them out again. And you cannot believe how much honey comes out. You can't really see it in this video, but it's all down the bottom. All the honey is down the bottom. So, all right, I'm gonna stop it right there for now. Mr. Nault, anything else you want to say?
After we spin it and we get all the honey out, we put them back in the hive, and the bees don't have to make the honeycomb that's still there. It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut, and they'll spend less time building comb and more time producing honey.
Awesome. And actually, the bees do eat the honey, especially in the winter time, right?
They eat honey all the time.
So that's their food as well as our food. But they make so much that we can take some out of the hive and it doesn't harm them. So after this is done, as I said, we'll bottle up the honey from there. There are two things you can do, two options. You can process the honey with heat, and that makes it very, very clear. Or you can leave the honey, and it's called raw honey, and it's also very delicious, but it can get a little cloudy, and it gets crystals in it. You'll see that. So I think that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed your little virtual field trip to my apiary. Again, remember that word. And you saw the brood box. Oh, that one is the honey box, but the brood box, so that's your other vocabulary word. This was really cool. I enjoyed making this video for you, and hope that you enjoy it. Thanks. Bye. Okay, so here we have 3 different jars of honey. And you'll see they look a little bit different. I was telling you before about whether or not you process the honey. So this is the processed honey. This has been heated. And you can see that it's very, very clear. Has a nice dark amber color. But it's very clear. You can see right through it. The sunlight comes right through it. This jar of honey is raw honey. So it isn't quite as clear, but it is still a nice dark amber color. This honey right here, you can see, is a very light color. And the reason being is that this honey is actually crystallized. So if I open the top, let me see if I can do that. I can't get it open right now. But it's actually not liquid anymore. It actually turns into a soft solid. So it's sort of like a paste, almost like peanut butter that you would put. You could spread it nicely on your toast or your English muffin or whatever you like to eat it on. And I actually like it that way because it's much easier to work with. This honey is very liquid. Let me see, especially this one. And this one, because it was heated, will stay liquid a lot longer. It won't turn into that. So, just wanted to show you one more thing. Again, see you later. Bye.